Development of hydroelectric generation system using ramp pump in turbo wheel turbine. Renewable energy is now on high demand because of the conventional fossil fuel, diesel, and nuclear power plant continuously contributes to the rise of temperature of the earth and causes global warming as well as climate change. Even though with these facts, we continue to use this kind of power plant because they have high output that can provide the whole country. To lessen the problem about the global warming, the demand on renewable energy increases in hopes that the modern technology will make a huge evolution to make renewable energy more attainable. A comparison of demand in renewable resources from International Energy Agency as of 2021. As we can see in the chart, we can see the difference of 1 year from 2019 to 2020 and 2020 to 2021. The energy generation of solar PV decreases from 150 terawatt hour to 145 terawatt hour. The wind energy increases from 175 terawatt hour to 275 terawatt hour. The hydropower increases from 114 terawatt hour to 140 terawatt hour. And bioenergy increases from 40 terawatt hour to 72 terawatt hour. The legends. The light blue represents solar PV, navy blue for wind energy, light green for hydropower, and dark green for bioenergy. We can see that wind energy has the highest generation of 2019 to 2020 and 2020 to 2021. Hydropower is one of the renewable energy that are on demand. Water resources are all over the world. That's why many have planned to make hydropower plants to be alternative power source. Even though we have lots of water to provide the hydro generation, not all places with water can construct hydropower plant because of some requirements such as water head, height, and quantity of water to construct a dam. In the picture, we can see an example of hydroelectric generation. Solution: the ramp pump or water pump is a complete automatic device that uses energy of the flowing water such as spring, stream, or river to pump part of the water to a height above that of the source. Turbo turbine is preferred turbine for hydropower when the available water source has a relative high hydraulic head at low flow rates. In a hydroelectric power plant, this is used to turbine and that generator converts the mechanical energy of the turbine into electrical energy. At the left side picture, we can see the example of the ramp pump. And at the right side, we can see the example of the turbo wheel turbine. The study was conducted to produce electricity by using ramp pump and turbo turbine to make the hydroelectricity system works. This study will lessen the expenses of those who live in high places like mountains and hills which has no electricity power. We think an alternative ways to use the turbine even it has no dam to produce electricity. The expenses on making dams are much more expensive compared to the proposed study. Those expenses will lessen the use of the ramp pump to stand as head for the turbine. This system will be attainable and affordable for those residents that will try to make an alternative source of off-grid electricity. The proposed hydroelectric generation system. The system will consist of PVC pipes, ramp pump, turbo wheel turbine, three-phase generator, and the control panel. How will the system work? Ramp pump operation. Sequence 1. Water from the source starts flowing through the dry pipe and out of the waste, or the check valve, which open initially. Water flows faster and faster through the pipe and out of the valve, which creates more pressure to pump the water in higher area. Sequence 2. As the water flows through the dry pipe, it also flows through the flapper on the check valve. The water has weight and momentum, so it will push the water flapper and it will shut. As the flapper in the check valve shuts, the water will enter the pressure chamber through the delivery valve. As the water enters the pressure chamber, it creates a pressure in the air above inside the chamber. Sequence 3. As the delivery valve or the spike moves back up the pipe, it creates a lower pressure in the waste valve. The spring-loaded check valve closes as the pressure drops, retaining the pressure in the pressure chamber. Sequence 4. At some point, this pressure becomes so low that the flapper in the waste valve falls back down, opening the waste valve again. Sequence 5. The shock wave reaches the holding tank, causing a gasp for the water in the pipe flows into the pump and out of the waste valve. The check valve remains closed until the air volume in the flowing out of the dry pipe. At some point, the pressure in the check valve falls and the process will repeat over again. Power generation principle. The jet nozzle, which is connected to the ram pump, is pointing to the blades of the turbo wheel turbine. The water then will hit the blades, which will cause the turbine to rotate. The shaft that is connected to the generator will rotate the rotor, which will generate the electricity. The generator is connected to the control panel, where the processing of the electricity is controlled. The water out of the turbine will then go back to the nature. Scope and delimitation of the study. This study focuses only on the development of a turbo hydroelectric generation system. In this series, the researcher used a ram pump that uses pressure to elevate the water to a certain location by the help of check valve and delivery valve. And the turbo wheel turbine is used to drive the generator of the turbine to generate the mechanical energy of the turbine into electrical energy, which is responsible in all of the operation of the turbo hydroelectric generation. The application of the study are limited only to a certain community, depends on the evaluation of the requirement of the proposed design. That's all, and thank you for listening.